Hey everyone, this is David Brown with the migration update for March 12th, 2025 from the Derby Hill Hawkwatch. I got out around 8 o'clock this morning and I first checked the lake, and you can see with the northerly winds it really pushed a lot of ice closer into the shore, so there weren't as many close ducks, and there weren't as many ducks as there were yesterday evening when I was out, although I did end up getting 16 species of ducks for my morning list. I'll show a couple of examples. Here we have a pair of common mergansers with the male on the right. Here's a pair of American widgeons with the male at the bottom. Here's a group of white-winged scoters, which are one of my favorites, and I've been keeping an eye out for black scoters and surf scoters as well, but so far haven't had any luck. And despite the efforts of these three male hooded mergansers, the female just doesn't seem that interested. I had a total of 38 species from the North Lookout in the morning. Since the wind had a northerly component, the count was conducted from the South Lookout today, and when I first got there was a little bit of that morning sunshine left, but it rapidly became overcast, and it was just a cold day. It was a very light northerly wind, and temperatures were around freezing, but it was just enough to make things a little bit miserable. And with those overcast skies, there weren't good thermals. The wind wasn't good for causing any raptors to fly. So overall, a pretty slow day, and I ended things a bit early. A lot of the snow has melted, so there's a lot of open space for things like blackbirds and robins to be feeding. So at least there's more habitat and more opportunities to scan for birds than when it was a frozen wasteland a week ago. Here's a male red-winged blackbird claiming his stake to the number 3 sign. Flocks of Canada geese were on the move again today. I estimated around 1,500 total for the day. And I had one large messy group of snow geese come through with around 850 total. I really like this photo of a pair of bluebirds hanging out on the South Lookout sign. Here are 2 common ravens out of a group of 3 that flew over together. And with more grass exposed, I was happy to see 2 eastern meadowlarks together. And speaking of larks, here we have a horned lark that flew by and gave a nice look. It was not a good day if you wanted to photograph raptors. All of the migration was taking place well inland of the South Lookout. They were pretty much all scope birds, though I did have some pretty good birds. The first migrant of the day was a peregrine falcon, and later I did have a golden eagle, but they were too far for photos. Here we have an immature bald eagle that was pretty much the only raptor that came close enough to even attempt photos. And whether you were a cow or a hawk watcher, it was just kind of a cold, slow day to be out. I had a total of 35 species from the South Lookout today. Between the North Lookout and the South Lookout today, I had a total of 55 species, but there were no new species for the season. Taking a look at the hawk count report for the migrant raptor totals, today I had 33 turkey vultures, 1 Cooper's hawk, 1 red-shouldered hawk, 1 golden eagle, and 1 peregrine falcon for a total of 37 migrating raptors. That brings the season total to 498. And taking a look at the forecast, well, it's looking really good the next couple days. So for tomorrow, it's looking cloudy with a high in the low 50s and southeast winds at 10 to 15 miles per hour. So that's our best wind direction, and 10 to 15 miles per hour is a really good speed as long as it does stay that strong. It should hold off a lake breeze and everything. And the only thing I would say is that with the cloudy skies, it might take a little bit longer for thermals to develop. So some of the birds that rely on thermals might take a little bit longer to get up in the morning, but should be a pretty good flight of songbirds, I would assume, in the morning, and should be another really fun day to be out at Derby Hill. And I just put a note about parking, which is the same situation as it's been with the snow and mud. Parking at the North Lookout is limited to the normal gravel lot. You can't park in the grass yet. So if that lot up top fills up, you just have to park at the bottom of the hill on Sage Creek Drive in the parking lot down there, and then you'd have to walk up the hill. Looking ahead to Friday, it's looking partly cloudy with a high in the upper 50s and lighter southeasterly winds, 5 to 10 miles per hour. So again, that's a good wind direction. I'm just a little concerned with how weak those winds are, that maybe a lake breeze would kick in, especially with those warm temperatures. But overall, it should be a decent morning, at least before that lake breeze might kick in. And looking ahead to Saturday, it's looking cloudy in the morning and then a chance of rain showers in the afternoon, and south-southeast winds. So that great wind direction again. stronger now, 15 to 25 miles per hour, maybe a little stronger than we'd like them, but should be another good day as long as those rain showers aren't too extensive in the afternoon. All right, a bit of a slow day out at the Hawkwatch today, but I'm perfectly fine with that. It gives me a chance to recover from yesterday's big day and to prepare for the next 3 days, which look like they could all be pretty good. So I'm sure I'll be spending many hours out in the field and then many hours creating content to share what we saw. So I hope you can join us or at least follow along virtually. From Lyco Birds, this is David Brown. Thanks for watching.